of all, I wish you all a very warm good evening. And myself, Mrs. Sunita Mato. First of all, want to welcome our Honorable Principal Sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Aarti Korwar Ma'am, School Training Nodal Coordinator, Mr. Dinesh Chakravarti Sir, and our all dignified teachers in this today's evening session. Today, as the resource person of this session, we have Mr. L Narayan Sir, who will be sharing his presentation on today's topic, that is digital learning and management. Welcome, sir. But before sir would start his presentation, I would like to give a brief introduction of sir. Mr. K. Narayan sir is the founder teacher of the school. He has been teaching in the school since 2009. He has done Masters in Physics from Soviet University and has done B.Ed from Bharatiya Shiksha Parishad in Lucknow, UP. He has also qualified CTET of class 6 to 8. He has more than 12 years of teaching experience. He has vast experience in co-curricular activities and examination-related work. He has shouldered the responsibility of class teacher, housemaster, and subject coordinator. He has also performed the duties of coordinator, CCA evaluator, and also as AHE in CBSE board exams. So, over to you, sir. Narayan, sir. Narayan, sir, my voice is audible. Narayan, sir, are you there?
Yes, he's there, ma'am. I think he's having some issues. Wait, I'm calling him from my phone.
Okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the disturbance.
Sir, your voice is getting echo. I think the two things are on. One you off the
Yes, let me check.
If you're using the mobile phone, then laptop phone you switch off, mute. Because echo is coming. Now it's okay. Now again it is coming.
Yes, sir. Let me remove it one device.
remove one device, sir. Log out from one device, either laptop or mobile.
Okay.
So shall I start? Shall I start? Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Now, is it audible? Hello.
It is audible and it is proper also. You
And
can
is
start the
clear?
presentation.
Sir, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is clear.
Okay.
You proceed, sir. Sunita ma'am, your part is over. Let
Yes.
Raman sir start the presentation.
Thank you, Sunita ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to conduct this session. So, first of all, I would like to welcome all the school dignitaries, Honorable Principal Sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju Sir, respected Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Aarti Korwar Ma'am, respected SPNC of our school, Mr. Dinesh Chakravarti Sir, all the dignified teachers of our school. So here I extend a warm welcome to all of you in this online session. The topic for today's session is digital learning and management. So in this digital learning and management, we will come across various points. So let me share the screen first. The topic for today's session is digital learning and management. Here in the introduction part, firstly we will see what is this digital learning and e-learning. So digital learning is the newest and most popular form of distance education. Within the past decades, it has had a major impact on the field of education and the trends of the increasing demand of the education. So in this workshop, we will explore what the experience of online learning is like for the students and how it has changed the role of the instructor. Second, we will also see the part of the digital learning, strengths of the digital learning, weakness of digital learning, and finally the role of the management to conduct this digital learning. See, my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Digital learning is a process in which learners use digital media to learn. This definition has been proposed by American Scientists Society of Training and Development. Digital media includes internet, CDs, corporate networks, computers, satellite, broadcasting, interactive, TVs, audio tapes, video tapes, etc. So altogether it comprises of the digital learning. Here the digital learning is also sometimes referred as e-learning, very popular and common among the students. Online learning is education that takes place over the internet. It is often referred to as e-learning among the other terms. However, online learning is just one type of distance learning itself under the umbrella term of any learning that takes place across distance and not in a traditional classroom. This digital learning has a long history and there are several types of ability today. By far most popular approach today is the only online learning. According to the beliefs of the philosophers, the online enrollment continue to grow at the rate faster than the broader part of the system. And the higher education expect more and more participation of the students in this online platform. This major approaches of educational technology is broadly having the three major approaches. One, hardware approach, number two, software approach, and number three, system approach. In the terms of hardware approach, the hardware approach is based on the application of engineering principles for developing electromechanical equipment, for the motion pictures, tape recorders, televisions, teaching machines, computers, and so called the educational hardware. The hardware approach mechanizes the process of teaching so that the teachers would be able to deal with the students with the less expenditure in the educating, and all the other visual audio-visual approaches, audios, and the equipments are designed and manufactured for the improving communication system, not only for the classrooms but also for the other field of interactive sessions. In this way, the process of teaching learning has been gradually mechanized through the use of teaching machines, language, laboratory, televisions, tape records, and projectors. The mechanization is being introduced in the preservation, transmission, and advancement of the human knowledge. The teacher can deal with larger and larger groups of students by his discovery. And indeed, the educational and training system are able to deal with the increased number of students, and the cost per student has been reduced up to minimum level. So this is all about the hardware approach. In terms of software, the software approach uses the principle for building and learning the complexity of the knowledge or modified in its behavior. It originates from the Skinners and the other behaviorists. The programs which such a technology produces are all comes under the software. The newspapers, books, magazines, educational games, all are the forms of the software. The software approach is characterized by the task analysis, writing precise objectives, selection of appropriate learning strategies, immediate reinforcement of responses, and content evaluation. So these are all included in the software approach. And then the system approach. System approach means this technology has influenced the educational administrations and organizations to the greater extent in reference to the comprehensive system development that can take without prior system analysis. The term system analysis includes utilizations of the scientific, mathematical, and other technical applications. So the elements of the system are independent and they are interactive to achieve the goals of the education. The effectiveness and efficiency of the learning system actually depends on how comparativity the system can hold. Thus, the system approach may include both the hardware and the software approach to formulate them. Let us move towards the parts of the digital learning. If we talk about the parts of the digital learning, so you can see some points are being summarized here. Number one, digital teaching materials, that is e-book, in Kindle, digitalized data, etc. Number two, digital tools. Digital tools here include laptops, smartphones, notepads, and other devices. Number three, digital delivery means here the internet, intranet, satellite, broadcasting, altogether these are included in the term digital delivery. And autonomous learning, number four. So autonomous learning here says about the self-learning using data tools such as learning program, language, or any other software developing programs. You can see here if any of these points or the parts will be not fulfilled, then the digital learning process will be considered as incomplete. You can see number from the number one itself, the materials, the e-books. In the absence of these required materials for the teaching, the process of teaching learning cannot be comprehensive, cannot be easy, we can say. And the tools which we have just taken here, these tools are playing the vital role nowadays. Without these tools, we cannot just communicate, we can say, we cannot have the interaction, we can say. So these tools are very much helpful to us. And in the digital delivery, that is again the one of the most important form you can see. If it is failure, means just for example, if the digital delivery is failure, or we can say the network issue is there, or the network problem may arise, then the communication will be withstand. So in order to have the smooth communication, this digital delivery is highly required. And the process of learning will be autonomous. Means the person, the child, the student will gain their self-knowledge by these parts. Let us see for the strength of the digital learning. Here strength means the points of we can say advantages or having the use. So this digital learning is catalyzing the shift in which how we teach or how the students learn. There is a shift away from the top down. The students are becoming more collaborative and they are having the most easy and the accessible approach towards the studies, and the instructor co-creates the learning process. The instructor's role is changing from the sat on the stage to the guide on the side. Here you can see the strengths in which it is saying that anywhere means no matter the students are in the classroom or no matter the students are at their home. So here anywhere they can start their studies, anywhere they can start their learning. And again you can see any time means for example the time bar is also not having any restriction here, either in the early morning or late in the evening or at night. The child or the student can easily get. Means this approach empowers the students as active learners instead of just passive recipients absorbing information and reproducing them in the standardized test manner. And we can see here at any pace. Any pace means some of the students are very easily grasping the content, easily learning them and by hearting them. And some of the students may be slow learners, but here we can see the speed of the learning can be moderate, can be high or can be slow depending on the student's capability. Here the learner as a unique individual, he or she has to treat himself or herself. The relevance of the learner's background and culture also play the role. Increased responsibility for learning belongs to the student. Motivation for learning comes from successful completion of challenging tasks. And instructors as facilitators helping learners, means students, to develop their own understanding of content. Learning is an active and social process. The dynamic interaction between task, instructor and the learner can be coordinated in very smooth manner. So this collaboration is highly needed to focus the best generation of the learning process from the digital technology. Benefits of this digital teaching and learning can be sought out, like this online learning meets the needs of the ever-growing population of students who cannot prefer or not to prefer the traditional classroom setting. The learners include those here unable to attend the traditional classes, who cannot find the particular class at their chosen institution, who live in a remote location, who work full time and can only study at or after work, and those who simply prefer to learn independently. Here, for all of them, these benefits can be directly be taken, or it will be highly beneficial to them directly. The minimum requirement for students to participate in this online digital classes is to only having a computer or a laptop or any mobile handset, the internet connectivity and the motivation to succeed in the non-traditional way of learning. If these requirements are to be fulfilled, then the child will be easily getting the digital learning process and can achieve any goal which was set by him or her. These digital classes provide an excellent method of course delivery, unbound by the time or location, or allowing them to access the instructions given by them at any time, at anywhere. Learners find the online environment in a convenient way to fit education into their busy lives. The ability to access a course from any computer with internet access is 24 hours per day into 7. This can highly increase the students' grasping and students' capability among the studies. So these can be considered as the strength. Now let us see how this will be fruitful to the individual. Dynamic interaction between the instructor and student. Here, the students and the teacher can have a direct communication, can have a direct interaction among each. Here, the method of assessing is online and accommodates busy schedule and having no areas for the field enhancing. So this the learning methodology has the depth of understanding and the content related emphasis which can be used in the technical way. Leveling of the flying the field. The students can take more time to think and reflect before communicating. The shy students tend to thrive online, but the other students can easily motivate the slow learners and they can also become the active members of this group. Interaction. The increased student to teacher and the student to student interaction and discussion is more fruitful. A more student-centered learning environment is provided here and less passive listening and more active learning is highly emphasized. And the great sense of connectivity and energy level is being provided. Then we can see here the access to resource and knowledge. The time which was given for examining the student's work or the ability to complete the task recorded online interaction, all are being graded and mapped in a sequence manner. The savings, the accommodation for more students, increasing student satisfaction, higher retention and fewer repeats. Maximizing the physical resource, lessen demand of the limited campus infrastructure, decreasing congestivity and on the campus. Then outreach, give the students option, reach new market level, appeal to the current students, thus increasing enrollment. So these are all the frequent access to the digital learning. Now, among we all only, we can think and just ask few questions to ourselves. Is this digital class or online class the same as self-paced classes? According to our experience, as we are teaching, we have also gone through the offline teaching in the classroom. We have also nowadays going through the online classes. So we teachers now let us have a brief discussion. Is this online class the same as the self-paced class? According to, let us just few teachers please share your valuable suggestions. Is it or whatever is your ideas? Is this online class the same?
Let me share my views then.
Yes, sir.
See, offline classes are the best classes which cannot be replaced by any online. But the situation which the whole world faced in the last 2 years, and suppose if this online mode was not there, then you think about the consequences, what would be the situation of the student in that case. So, though the online classes are not the 100% equal to the offline classes, but yet they have given you can consider that one as a boon in that situation when the students were totally in depression because of lack of education, fear of the future. So I, according to me, though the online classes cannot replace the offline classes, but yet at times of need, as we are facing the situation now also, this is really the best means by which we can have a touch with the student, we can keep going with the syllabus, and ultimately maybe slower, but we will reach our target. That's my view.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I fully agree with you, sir. Means definitely, I too believe the same. Here, according to the expert, it is also said that this two have their own importance in their own way. It is written over here, sir. While some online classes are similar to independent study, most online classes are not self-paced classes. The due dates of the documents, class participation, and regular campus classes are all different in their own way. Means, for example, homework and other activities and online classes participation must be differ or must be vary from class to class or from standard to standard. Yes, sir. It is true, sir. Very good, sir. Thank you. As you have said, your valuable sharings and thinking. So, the time which we are now investing our to inculcate the students for this digital learning is having its own content, is having its own self-motivation, we can say, good organization, we can say, time management skills, we can say. These all things we all teachers are collectively providing to the students. This could be highly resourceful, and it will actively seek all the solutions to the students. Means the students, those who are finding their queries or having the problems, they all will be getting beneficial. And moreover, in this digital classes, these internet skills would also be helpful to us in this all online classes. And most successful depending of the students is the web-based interaction through the Google Forms, through emails, through typings. All these are connectivity of each other, and it will be increasing the level of the student. Now let us see the creative teachings and advanced learning technology. For the creative teachings, as we are conducting the classes, so we are using all the creative methods. For example, we are conducting the tests, and also we are using Google Forms and other formats for the test, and different other technological ways we are using it to increase the level of digital learning. And on the other hand, if we want to just see, as the point has both the sides, so let us just have a look towards the weakness of this digital technology, digital learning. You can see here by means of these images, some weakness, some shortcomings can be highlighted, like accessibility is there, data pack or no signal, or sometimes the internet speed gets slow, the minimum level of computer knowledge, you can say, somewhere no Wi-Fi connections are so here it is just means not having any problem, means we have to ensure ourselves that we are using the technology in such a way that these problems could be minimized according to us. Means suppose if the zone or the region is there where the poor internet connectivity is there, so we have to shift the place, shift the position in such a manner so that the signal problems, signal issues can be resolved. Moreover, as far as minimum level of computer knowledge is concerned, so in schools nowadays, we all teachers, students are having at least the minimum level of education so that we can communicate in the form of digital with our students. So these, according to me, these weakness or these shortcomings can easily be converted into the fruitfulness. We can overcome these things. If we focus or see the student's problem, then it could be a issue or then it could be some point to see. We have to focus upon these points and we have to try to overcome these situations. So what type of problems may arise among the students while going through these digital classes, digital learning? According to the experts, it is analyzed that the first thing is health issues. Yes, health issues may be arise. All the students are not having the good physical or mental health. So, by prolonged use of mobile phones, laptops, tabs, etc., the students may have health issues or eyesight problems. Something this type of problems related to the health may occur. Lack of concentration. Yes, of course. If continuously the child would see the screen for their study purpose, so a time would come that their interest may be little bit lagging behind. But here these things we can just fill the gap by putting some creativeness. Here we can include in our teaching some creative ideas or some innovative ideas we can put here so that their concentration level may not break, may not fall, and it could be overcome. Then more responsibility on the student. Yes, of course, responsibility is more as the teachers. We all are teaching the subjects time to time. We are giving our own tasks to them, and we also expect them to complete their given task within time. Some projects are there, some home tasks are given, or whatever it is. So all these things can be managed, could be overcome according to the student's situation. Lastly, the mental health. If a mental health issue is concerned, so it could be a major problem, you can say, and that major problem can also be sought out by seeing the intensity, by seeing the nature of the problem. So if we overcome the situation, student's problem and the connectivity problems, then the digital learning could be fully helpful to us. And one more problem can also be seen here in the shortcomings, that no physical education, no physical classes, no physical interactions are involved. Here, if we are moving towards the digital learning, so here the physical contact would be less. Here physical contact means like games and sports. In terms of games and sports, the students, those who are playing games, football, cricket, etc., whatever games are there. So here the student to student contact will be there in the field of sports. So it could be less, it could be minimized. So the physical exercise is getting less. But this could be resolved in another way by if the child opts for the yoga or a self-meditation or any other means jogging, etc. If he would involve himself or herself in such type of physical activities, these problems can also be solved. So lastly, in the digital learning and management, so we will just see few points related to the management, how this is going to be important for the students. The role of management in the digital learning should be minimize the weakness of the digital learning. just now we have seen the weakness or the shortcomings of the digital learning. So how we all can join together to remove, to minimize the problems. Number one, learners and instructors must have minimum knowledge of computer. Yes, of course, this problem too we can sort out by ourselves only. Nowadays, we all have the minimum knowledge of computer, handling the laptop, etc. Whatever. So this minimum knowledge is overcome. We should make sure that learners and instructors have digital tools, laptops, desktops. We should make sure. So here the learners, means the students and the instructors, we all have the digital tools. So yes, we are having, and we should always monitor smooth functioning of digital delivery system, internet, satellite communication. This could be depending on the system. So here the system should be inbuilt. We have to make sure that the connectivity of the internet, satellite communications are coming in the region, coming in the zone in a proper way, or if we are living in any particular area near our home or in the adjoining areas, the connectivity and communication problems are not there. We have to make it sure. Design interactive and participative courses structured to attract learners' attention and feedback, include videos and stimulate examples in lectures. And this could be done by our teaching methods. In our teaching methods, whatever subjects we all teachers are teaching, maybe science, social science, English, Hindi, math, whatever subject is there, in our subject we will include all these methods to make it, make our learning more attractive, more interesting. And there should be inclusion of motivational classes as well as the mental health program in curriculum. Yes, of course, this should be done. Earlier during the offline classes, we were having the yoga classes and all. So these motivational classes are very important. It would remove the mental illness and it will help the body and the mind to be fit and strong. So these points we can include definitely. So here we come to the conclusion that in overall we can say that digital learning is very much helpful, very much beneficial to the learners, students and the instructors and teachers. So definitely it will be highly motivating us, and we may get benefit from it, we may learn from it more and more and try to improve ourselves and to use them in the more innovative way as we are doing in nowadays time, and in future also we will be doing so and so to communicate with the students. So this is what I want to share with you all, dear teachers. Now if you have any query related to these points, you can just ask, we can just discuss. Otherwise, any teacher is having any query related to the topic, related to any point, or if you have any idea to share, please teachers, you are welcome with your ideas, suggestions.
Very nice presentation, Narayan sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir,
Very
thank you.
sir.
Okay. If any teacher is having any valuable idea, yes, they can share please, or else we are moving forward.
I just want to say that
Yeah.
data learning system, we teachers are also updating ourselves.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Gradually and time to time we are learning, ma'am. Earlier these things were not so much there. We were also very much acquainted with these things in these days only. Anyway, it was a wonderful time earlier, so that it made all of us, it compelled all of us to learn these things. We are very much thankful to the system for making the entire thing to happen in good way.
Okay.
Yes.
Once again, thank you, sir, for the strengths and weaknesses of the digital learning system. Now, I would like to call Mr. Sarthi, sir, for highlighting the key takeaways. Over to you, Sarthi, sir.
Uh, Good evening, Principal Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, School Training Nodal Coordinator, and all dignified teachers. First of all, I'd like to thank L Narayan Sir for such an interesting and informative session. Thank you, Narayan Sir. Today's topic, that is digital learning and management, is actually very important for us. Digital learning is actually need of our today's modern day society. So with this digital learning, we can learn anything from anywhere. So this digital learning has given us freedom to learn. That is, we can learn from our home, from our workplace. We are not dependent on a particular place. Like अगर कोई सब्जेक्ट या कोई कोर्स फॉरेन कंट्री में सिखाया जाता है और अगर वो कोर्स डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म पे अवेलेबल है, then it is not necessary कि उस कंट्री पे जाके ही हम सीख सकते हैं. So we can learn from any country, from anywhere. So this has been possible because of this digital learning. So I think this digital learning makes us very much advanced in terms of learning. So thank you, sir, for such an informative and interesting session.
Thank you, Sarthi, sir. Now, I would like to call Mr. Mantosh, sir, for giving the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sunita, ma'am. Good evening, Principal, sir, Vice Principal, ma'am, ST Mr. Dinesh Chakravarti, sir, and all my dignified teachers. Yes. First of all, I'd like to thank our resource person, L Narayan, sir, that for the topic he has chosen for in-house training is digital learning and management. It is very much required for in this pandemic situation, COVID-19 pandemic situation, that in spite of not having the online classes or online classes in the school, this online platform is open for all the students, and it will be very much helpful for them when it is applied rightly on the stage. So it is what Narayan sir explained very much advantages, disadvantages very well, and also how we can improve further. And this will be very much helpful in our later session. Okay. Thank you, Narayan sir, for your nicely presentation and for your great topic. Thank you very much.